Welcome to the coming apocalypse. Evangelist and pastor Paul Begley will take you on a journey into the end times prophecy. He'll examine current world events and explain how they relate to the end times. For decades, Pastor Begley has provided people all over the world with an understanding of today's world events from a biblical perspective. Now here's your host, Pastor Paul Begley.
All right, guys, are you serious? Are you serious? Good news. Good news. We're live everywhere, including we got a brand new radio line. Are you serious? Are you seriously serious? That phone number is, in case you need to listen by telephone, that number is 978-990-5262. Let me just say that again. Brand new line. The other number is gone. We're finally fixed. We're finally back. 978-990-5262. Everybody write it down. Are you serious? And we'll keep reminding you throughout the broadcast. Today's broadcast, in good faith. This work contains fair use of copyrighted and non-copyrighted images from the web and from the public domain for non-commercial, non-profit, educational purposes only. This broadcast is free of charge. We take the current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy in this great teaching period of time that we're in. This is an hour that we've never thought we would see this quickly. The prophecies are coming together so incredibly fast. Oh, by the way, put a shout out real fast to our good friends at noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. So the preppers are going to say, we told you so. And the financial advisors are scrambling to justify their advice on your retirement funds. But it all means diddly squat, really, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. This isn't the time for the blame game. This is the time to help each other out. Before this crisis happened, Noble Gold had been helping investors to educate themselves and discover the new ways of avoiding financial disaster. That's still the case. And they're offering right now to talk to you for free about what choices might still be on the table to rescue your retirement plans. They have helped hundreds of people secure their stock-backed IRAs with gold and silver to stop them falling so hard. It's time you get into the world of physical precious metals before it is too late. Get on the phone and call noblegoldinvestment.com. Pick up the phone now. Call Colin Plume or one of his associates at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Do it now and tell them that Pastor Paul Begley sent you over there, all right? Oh, yes. Are you serious? Today, our good friend L.A. Marzulli will be with us. There's the brand new radio line, folks. You can use it anytime you need to listen live. This is the new permanent line. It's 978. Brock, that's wrong. It's 928. Let's fix that real fast. Let's fix that real fast, everybody. All right, he'll get it back up there. It's 9. No, wait, Brock. I'm wrong. I looked down at this wrong number over here. It's 978. Brock is right. 978-990-5262. Brock is right. Say, Pastor, leave him alone. He had it right. 978-990-5262. That's the right number. 978-990-5262. If you want to test it, do it now. Pick up your phone and just call the number and just see if it's working for you. I want to make sure of that, okay? So I want you to do that. You can call in and listen for free on your phone, unless your phone company charges you for listening. I can't control that, but the line is there, okay? The line is there. All right, now let me just say real quickly here, I'm excited about everybody that's in the house today. L.A. Marzulli, Brock. And he has discovered, this is breaking news, and I was so excited to do this, but L.A. Marzulli has discovered the American Stonehenge. No one else had ever found this in history. And it is L.A. Marzulli who has discovered what's called he's calling it the American Stonehenge. He will show you how that come about today. It's the Canaanite connection. This is incredible information. He has a brand new DVD out, even just came out, on the Trail of the Nephilims, called The American Stonehenge, the Canaanite connection. And that, of course, you can get that. That's available at his website at www.lamarzulli.net. That's www.lamarzulli.net. We'll let him tell you about that. Plus, he's got some specials just for Paul Begley followers. Just for Paul Begley followers today. So you'll want to know about that when he comes on. But we do have some very serious information to share with you folks today with the tornadoes and things that happen. But we've also got, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But first, I think what I want to do, let me see if I can find the tornadoes, Brock. Give me 1 second. I had that. Did I leave that over there? Did I leave it over there? I did, didn't I? No, I didn't, Brock. I got it. Really sorry about that, Brock. I got it, Brock. I got it. It's my bad, guys. Be patient with me. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Tornadoes tear through Texas and Oklahoma. 5 people are dead. A very severe weather, damage everywhere. Brock has got pictures, but these tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma kill at least 5. That death toll may rise. 30 people are injured. It's a very serious situation here. The 5 people were killed as severe weather raged across Texas, Oklahoma, and southeastern United States this morning. It actually happened early in the morning. In East Texas last night, it happened last night into the early morning hours. In East Texas, at least 3 people are dead, and as many as 30 were injured after a twister touched down in the town of Onalaska. And there's actually a picture of that tornado. According to Seth Christensen, spokesman for the Texas Division of Emergency Management. Onalaska is a Polk County. It's 80 miles northeast of Houston, Texas, where officials declared a disaster after the storm hit last night. The tornado killed at least 5 people in Texas and Oklahoma. Another deadly tornado touched down near the southern Oklahoma city of Mandeville at 5 p.m. last night and damaged at least a dozen structures, according to the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management. 2 people were killed. Robert Cheney, Emergency Management Director for Marshall County, said a 3rd person was in critical condition. So we had 3 people killed in Texas, 2 people killed in Oklahoma. The twister, which happened about 100 miles north of Dallas, Texas, was part of a severe weather outbreak expected to include heavy rain, flash flooding, thunderstorms across the southeast, according to the National Weather Service. It knocked out power to 7,000 customers early Wednesday evening, and Oklahoma emergency management officials also said this. In East Texas, widespread damage, Brock, was reported in Polk County after the tornado touched down in the evening. Earlier in the day, Governor Greg Abbott placed state resources on standby as the weather approached. The state has already developed response teams and medical resources to help the Texans in need to provide assistance to these communities. Greg Abbott, the governor, said in a statement, "Our hearts are with our fellow Texans tonight, and the state will continue to do everything it can to support those affected by this severe weather." In Polk County, about 80 miles northeast of Houston, officials opened a junior and senior high school as emergency shelters And officials at Louisiana State University in Alexandria said on Twitter that the severe weather toppled a livestock building on the campus, and that Wednesday night the Weather Service issued tornado warnings for even parts of Texas and even into Louisiana. So Brock, it was a very devastating storm, guys. All of you out there, it was devastation. And it's crazy. But wait till you hear this. 2 cats have caught the coronavirus in New York. Now, we already knew that big tigers had gotten sick in the Bronx Zoo, but now 2 pets have gotten the coronavirus, 2 cats, and they caught it from their owners. The owners are both have COVID-19 and are in the hospital in very serious condition. Their pets at home in 2 different homes in New York have both gotten sick with the coronavirus. So we know now that humans pass the virus to cats. And what are we going to do now? Okay, because if humans can pass it to the animals, can the animals then pass it on to the humans? And that's going to be the big story. And I'm going to give you this information on this. This is huge, guys, because now we're talking Hosea prophecy. We're talking Zephaniah prophecy. And I'm going to read this just before we go to the break, and then I'm going to give you the whole story when we come back. But let's go to the book of Zephaniah. This is very important because I've been talking about this for 10 years, Brock, after the first 5,000 blackbirds fell out of the sky in Beebe, Arkansas. And I read to everybody Hosea chapter 4, verses 1, 2, and 3. And I kept telling the people, guys, right now it's the birds, the fish, the cattle, the beasts of the field. And I can read to you over the last 10 years, guys, you wouldn't believe the mass animal deaths. It is insane, the amount of mass animals who have died. And RoboMom and Miss ZD and some of these guys have been following me, Pastor Walt and all these guys for years. They know, Melissa, all of them, they know we've been telling you that, but at some point, it will go past Hosea prophecy to the Zephaniah prophecy. Let me read to you what it says. It says, the Lord said in the book of Zephaniah, in chapter 1, verse 2, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume fowls of the heaven and fishes of the sea. Man and beast, the fowls of the heavens, the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord. Now, let me tell you why. Look at the next verse, verse 4. I will also stretch out my hand against Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal, or Baal, from this place, and the name of the Chemarims with the priest, and them that worship the host of heaven, that would be the fallen angels, upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by the Lord, that they swear by Malchem. So idolatry, which we see Baal worship or Baal worship going on globally now. And what is this pandemic? The coronavirus is a pandemic. And now it is spreading not just from people to people, but from people to the animals. Okay, now will it go from the animals to animals? Or will it go from the animals back to people and animals? Is it blood touches blood, therefore the land is going to mourn? It's going to languish with the beasts of the field, with the fowls of the heavens, yea, the fish of the sea also shall be taken away. When we come back, I'm going to give you the full report that just came in, plus I've got more breaking news to tell you about. As we are living in the last days, earthquake, you won't believe this, we have 45 volcanoes erupting right now. Insane. It's the most ever in history. Mega quake conference is coming. can't get it here quick enough. Incoming asteroids. Comet Atlas has exploded. There's a wicked moon out last night. All these things are happening. We're in the last days. Shelter us, Lord, because we need some help. Lord. The earth can shake, the sky come down, the mountains all fall to the ground. But I will fear none of those things. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Dark waters rise, the thunder pounds, the wheels of war are going round, and all the walls are crumbling. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. The wind will blow, the rain can pour, the deluge break, the tempest roars. But in that storm, my spirit sings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Day you call for me, someday when time no more shall be, and I say, death, where is your sting? Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Day you call for me, someday when time no more shall be. Well, I say, death, where is your sting? Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Are you serious? Welcome back to the Coming Apocalypse. I want to say God bless all 1,100 of you gathered with us already live on our main YouTube channel. Looks like 182 of you are over there at the backup channel. Plus, we got people watching a new live stream, Roku satellite television, Vimeo Live, Twitch Live, Periscope Live, Facebook Live, PaulBagleyProphecy.com Live. They're listening on the direct radio line live, the brand new radio line, Brock, which is 972-990-5262. The brand new radio line, 972-990-5262. And they're watching on the backup YouTube channel, as I said, and the main YouTube channel. L.A. Marzulli is going to be here with us today with breaking news. We're not on Vimeo? What's up with Vimeo? Get their act together. L.A. Marzulli is going to join us with breaking news. Breaking news. Let me just tell you what's going on. L.A. Marzulli has discovered the American Stonehenge and has just come up with a brand new film on this. So we're going to be talking to him. This is huge, and he'll go through some of that. Plus, we know he has been everywhere. And also when he discovered the American Stonehenge, it has Canaanite connection to it. That's a game changer, guys, because the Canaanite giants were in the land of Israel when Joshua and Caleb went in there. That's the biblical narrative. How in the world do we have connections with them over here in America? We're going to find that out as we're finding out more and more and more that these monolithic stones and altars and different types of sacred idol worshiping places. You know, just last year when I was in Israel, I went to Dan and I went and stood at the gates of hell. Where Jesus took the disciples and said that the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. And also, LA's got another one called Mysterious Mound Builders, another great DVD. And he's got a Paul Begley special. We'll tell you all about that when he gets here. But let me just do this real quick right now and tell you. Let's go back to the cat story. Again, tornadoes did tear up Texas and Oklahoma, a significant amount of damage. Unfortunately, our hearts are hurting over this. 5 people are dead as tornadoes tore through. And as we speak, Brock, as we speak, there is severe weather right now threatening Alabama, Georgia, and on into the North and South Carolinas. So our prayers are going out right now to all of our online church members out there, members of Publicly Prophecy Ministries, all of you out there, supporters, and those are faithful listeners and subscribers. We are with you in our prayers right now, okay? Now, here's the deal with the cats. This is a game changer here, guys. But apparently, here's what we got going on. 2 cats are the first U.S. pets to test positive for the coronavirus. The first pets in the United States, 2 of them, both from New York State, have tested positive for the coronavirus that's causing worldwide pandemic, according to the Agricultural Department and Centers for Disease Control announced late last night. The cats are from 2 different parts of the state, but are showing mild symptoms and are expected to survive. Testing positive, though, it brings a whole new level to this thing because these cats got sick from their owners, because both of the cats' owners have the coronavirus and are hospitalized right now in very serious condition. So what this means is humans can pass the virus to the animals. And the next question is going to be, can the animals, or at least cats anyway, pass the virus on to other animals or species like dogs or something else? And can they then turn around and pass them to other humans? If that happens, we're not dealing just, and you got to understand what happened in China. In China, there was suspected there were some cats that got sick. So you know what they did in China? They went through and they killed almost every cat. I mean, they went from village to village just killing the cats. For they were afraid that if the cats could get the virus and then they could spread it, then it didn't matter what people. You could quarantine people, but what about cats and different animals? I mean, you could literally mess the whole food chain up, guys, and fulfill the biblical prophecies that we found there. Now, here's something else we do know. These cats are kitty cats or domestic cats, but we already know other cats have tested positive also for the virus, including one big tiger in Belgium and 5 other tigers in the Bronx Zoo have the coronavirus. They've been infected, and also 3 lions have also been infected with the coronavirus, all of them in the Bronx Zoo in New York. So cats, whether they be lions, tigers, or kitty cats, can get the virus. And that is huge, guys, especially domestic cats. This is huge. We have 2 cats of our own. Of course, we've stayed shelter in place, and our cats have remained there with us. And Heidi's the only one that really goes to she's the only one that's going to the store and getting food and medication and that kind of thing. And we've stayed shelter in place. So, and I'm not getting out there because I have a little weaker immune system after having that sickness in the December and you know, with that mini stroke and things. So I really feel like I better be very careful. She is a nurse. She knows how to protect herself and how to come home and protect me. And so, and then we've all, of course, we keep social distancing. I mean, Brock's working in a different room than I am over here. I mean, you know, but we're not going to get 10 people together. So we keep the social distance. We keep it within the family. So all of these things are very important to understand. But it is a different world now, okay? It's a whole different world now. So you've got to stay awake, guys. We're dealing with something here. The Karen Terrell, the chief zoological pathology program at the University of Illinois Veterinarian College, where the Bronx Zoo tiger sample was tested, noted that hundreds of thousands of people have tested positive in the United States as opposed to just only 2 cats. I got that. I got you. It may be a very rare thing. We need to calm down. But then again, do we really know? Why are the people getting the virus? Could they be getting them from the cats? Could it be real mild on the cats, but much more lethal and more deadly on the humans? This is way too early to know that answer. You can't just go running out here speculating. Guys, there's thousands of people dead right now. And I mean, I don't know what else to say, but it's real. 45,000. I've had people say, well, you know, people died of the flu, they didn't shut down. That's right. 38,800 people died last year from car accidents in 2019 in the United States. We didn't shut the highway down, but that was all year. That's 12 months. 36,000 Americans died of the flu last year, but that was 12 months. I got you. But when you got 46,000 people dead in 32 days, you have to stop and ask yourself a couple questions. Are we out of the woods yet, really? I don't know. Okay? I really don't know that answer. Let me just say this. But we do know this. Purdue University, right here in West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue University has just announced this morning that mosquitoes and COVID-19, there is no evidence. This is good. At West Lafayette, Indiana, news just now breaking from Purdue University. Researchers here, which are some of the best researchers in the world. I mean, unfortunately, these are the people that brought us GMO to the food. And these are also some of the scientists that put a man on the moon. Okay, and put Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and all of them. They were all astronauts graduating from Purdue. So you got some of the greatest minds in the world here, aerospace, all of it right here. Well, good news they can tell us, it's a question that many were asking, when the weather warms up, can mosquitoes transmit COVID-19? Researchers at Purdue University say there is no evidence at all it can happen. Catherine Hill, Purdue professor of entomology and vector biology said scientists around the world are currently assessing if mosquitoes can infect humans with the virus, but it seems extremely unlikely. It is early days, but we're always looking at things from a risk management and assessment perspective. I think the risks are extremely low. So they don't totally rule it out, but they do, they do give us pretty good indication that they don't see this one becoming at all an issue. But of course, they will continue to monitor that. And that's very, very important. I want to welcome all 1,400 of you that are with us live at our YouTube channel. L.A. Marzulli is going to join us in a minute with breaking news. I think you're going to find fascinating. A tech executive fleeing to his New Zealand doomsday bunker had a slight problem when he got there. He forgot how to open the door. What? Okay, this dude, a Silicon Valley tech executive, extremely wealthy, who had built a $20 million underground bunker, lavish, flew all the way to New Zealand, but he forgot how to unlock the underground bunker, and he was sitting outside. Purchasing and converting underground bunkers into luxury shelters is becoming a growing trend among the very wealthy elite before the coronavirus pandemic came, and now some preppers are taking refuge there. New Zealand is one of the most popular spots to build a getaway estate because of its secluded nature and scenic beauty. If you're wealthy enough to get one of those things built and live out there and enjoy the beauty, scenery, and the water and the clearness of it and the seclusion and just the quietness, that's what these executives want to do. And some of the nation's most wealthy are taking refuge in private bunkers during this coronavirus outbreak. They've left their Silicon Valley executives who own a lot of stock and are multimillionaires who've escaped into the underground bunkers into New Zealand, forgot how to unlock it, according to a report by Bloomberg's Olivia Carville. Gary Lynch, the general manager of Rising Co., a Texas-based doomsday shelter provider, told the news outlet he received a call early in March from a businessman asking, "How do I unlock the shelter?" which he had never used before. He built a $20 million shelter and never used it. But when the pandemic broke out, he headed for New Zealand. New Zealand is a very hot spot for these folks. The preppers to build underground bunkers or luxurious homes on prime real estate to escape during the global crisis, according to Business Insider Katie Canales. Plus, at Bloomberg is noting that New Zealand has more recoveries from the coronavirus active cases, and only 12 people have died in New Zealand compared to 46,000 in the United States. He went out to New Zealand to escape everything, but couldn't open the bunker, okay? So, I'm just saying, guys, make sure you take the key with you when you go, okay? Just make sure you got a key to get in and understand the high-tech way of opening that thing. All right. What good is it? But here's my question. What if he gets in and can't get out? Don't worry, God will find him. I mean, the Bible says in the last days that they will run for the rocks and the mountains, and they will try to hide from the face of God. But when the Lord returns, they will see him anyway, and they will cry for the rocks and the mountains to fall on them and hide them from the face of him that sits on the throne. Guys, you can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. Are you serious? Unbelievable information taking place in New Zealand. Oh, you know, that kind of reminds me. Remember the great Dr. Chuck Missler? Dr. Chuck Missler, tremendous man of God, one of the smartest men in the Bible I've ever talked to in my life. I interviewed him in October of 2015, it's a great interview, and we've played it a couple times, and maybe we should just replay that one of these Saturdays as one of our rebroadcasts. And we talked Bible prophecy, and he kept saying the biggest event to watch for next was Ezekiel 38 and Psalms 83. He said those are the big events coming soon. Well, it's a great interview, though. Now, he died, of course. Well, the reason I bring him up is he actually had a beautiful, beautiful home that he had, and a beautiful estate out there in New Zealand. And so even though he was from Idaho, in his later years, he would like to go, him and his wife, and spend 6 months or so every year in New Zealand, in that beautiful place. And that's where he ended up dying and going on to meet the Lord. Coronavirus updates from China. China just donated $30 million to the WHO. Who? Who are you? Who? I gotta know. I need to know. Who are you? Whose bed are you in now? Yeah, I think we're starting to see a picture as the genie is out of the bottle, as the coronavirus begins to expose the fact that Shanghai and Beijing, nobody has the coronavirus in two major cities of China, and yet the whole world's in a pandemic. Look at New York City and look what's going on around the world. The question is, President Trump fired the WHO last week, and Mike Pompeo has made no bones about it. He blames the whole virus on Wuhan. Some people are even calling it the Wu flu. I'm not going to go there, but there's all this. And now, yesterday, hacked. That's right. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hacked, along with the World Health Organization, along with the National Institute of Health, along with the Woohoo Lab, and others, CDC and other organizations were all hacked with addresses and passwords of emails, 25,000 emails, and they wound up being dumped in the dark web at 4chan. And then 4chan started selling off pieces of it here and there to little bit to this website and a little to that site. Now, I reported this yesterday, and I just stunned. I mean, I guess the question is, did the president know when he fired the WHO? Did he already know about this hacking and got the info and said, we're done with them? Well, the president's done with the WHO, but guess who isn't done with the WHO? China. Now China has went ahead and gave $30 million to the WHO. So it's really looking colluded. I mean, I don't want to use the word collusion here because that word got used so much with the Russian collusion confusion, but you're starting to see some collusion. You're starting to see, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but what do you do when it's Bill Gates and WHO and China and the flu and Corona and Wuhan and the World Health Organization and the National Institute of Health? Now I understand they got to all work together, so I think we can't speculate. We really should not speculate, but it is weird that the day after the leak, China goes ahead and dumps $30 million into the WHO a week after Trump fires the WHO. Well, the head of the U.S. agency in charge of developing a vaccine against the coronavirus says he was removed from his job for opposing chloroquine treatment promoted by U.S. President Donald Trump. So now the U.S. agency in charge of developing a vaccine has been fired by probably the president. I don't know who fired him. The head of the World Health Organization, WHO, says they are worrying upward trends in early epidemics now in Africa and Central and South America, warning that the virus will be with us for a long time. Well, the WHO would probably know how long it's going to be here. It's funny, though, they didn't think it was a problem when it broke out. More than 2.5 million people around the world have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. I'm going to give you the exact numbers in a minute. And the United Nations is now warning that global hunger will double as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, putting 265 million people at risk. I know this is true, and I'm going to give you some very discouraging information. I hate to do it. I don't want to do it. But I really have no choice but to tell you that right here in Indiana, 30 miles straight east from where I'm sitting, there's a Tyson food plant that processes chicken. It's a huge plant, and it's in Logansport, Indiana. And they just announced yesterday, and Heidi just looked at me and she sent me the link on my computer and said, when you get downstairs, make sure you address this, because what else are you going to do? Logansport, Indiana, 146 employees in that packaging plant where they take the chicken and fry it in the big things and put it in the boxes. Tyson chicken. 146 employees have the coronavirus. 146. I'm sitting here saying, you got to be kidding me. There's only been 47 cases of coronavirus in West Lafayette and Lafayette, Indiana. These two towns are 175,000 people. And you're telling me Logansport, Indiana, which is a town of 15,000 people, has 146 employees over there at this one factory that package the food that ships all over the country. 146 of them have the coronavirus. Several of the employees had already been hospitalized in serious condition. I don't even know if any of them had died yet or not, but we know that this is bad now. They've shut the plant down. And guess what? A Chinese billionaire in Idaho, he just shut down his pork processing plant. And he said he's going to shut down some more U.S. meat processing plants that he had bought. What is China doing owning the meat processing plants in this country? And I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to find out there's going to be soon, very soon. There's other plants. Matter of fact, the list is unbelievable. The number of plants that are going to close in the month of May, and all of them are meat packing plants. Some of them are beef, some of them are chicken, and some of them are pork. They're closing all over the country due to the coronavirus. Now, nobody is saying that if you have the coronavirus that you could spread the flu with the food. But everybody is saying that if you have the coronavirus, you could put the virus on a box or on a table or in a cruise ship, and it will last for 17 days. So if you're packaging food, and you got 146 people working in one plant in Logansport, they're coughing, they're running fevers. That stuff's shipping out everywhere. What are you going to do with that? So the meat is shutting down. Guys, the meat is shutting down. So get ready. Later in the year, there's going to be a major shortage on meat. Now, that's fine with AOC, because she said she wants to shut all the meat down. And we need to eat grub worms and drink cricket juice in that new Green New Deal. And oh, by the way, she's happy that the airplanes are not flying, because she said she wants to cut down on it. And she's happy nobody's driving anywhere, because she said that was part of her Green New Deal. And so if they shut down the meat, she's getting just about everything she wants without even having to pass it in any legislation. And it's becoming a global situation. Guys, I'm just telling you right now, stay on top of this thing. We're nowhere near out of this thing yet, because we don't know exactly what we're dealing with. We don't know if this is a weapon or not. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just saying we don't know what we got here. Does anybody really know what this virus is? It isn't acting right. It's being passed from humans to cats. It's hanging around 17 days. It don't die in the heat. We don't really know what we're dealing with here. And for those who say this is the alleged virus, I just got off the phone with another one of our members of our online church last night, and her mother-in-law is very sick with the coronavirus in Illinois. And now all 4 of the family members have all tested They're all coughing. I should say this. The mother-in-law is definitely got coronavirus and is in the hospital, sick. And 4 more members of the immediate family are all coughing and are feeling ill and are being tested, and they don't know the results yet. But they're all coughing. They're all coughing, and they're all sick. They just don't know yet, okay? So we're up to 21 members of our online church, or people we know, that have the coronavirus. All have lived so far by the grace of God. Matter of fact, Larry up in Michigan, who was really he was on the respirator and he was gone, okay? He's making a comeback. He's still in the respirator, but he's easing back. They're taking the pressure off as far as the amount. They have to crank it up. He's coming back. So keep praying for Larry. But we got people out here, folks, okay, we don't know what we're dealing with yet. And so I just want to put that out there. Oh, by the way, L.A. Marzulli is going to join us in a few minutes. And Mike Pompeo has just ripped China, the World Health Organization, he also, for allegedly withholding the coronavirus information. This is just coming out. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo last night blasted the Chinese Communist Party and the World Health Organization. Isn't it weird that we keep linking these two together? I'm not linking it. This is the Secretary of State linking it. Let me just highlight that. Chinese Communist Party linking with the World Health Organization. How's that make you feel when you know that they want to have a beast kingdom of a new world order? Pompeo, though, smacks them for failing to alert all the countries of the world wide about the coronavirus outbreak, neglecting to report the accurate numbers of cases, even as the outbreak continued to spread. We strongly believe that the Chinese Communist Party did not report the outbreak of the new coronavirus in a timely fashion to the World Health Organization, Pompeo said. Even after they told the World Health Organization of the outbreak of the city of Wuhan back in December, the ruling Communist Party didn't share all the information that it had, instead covered up how dangerous this disease was. It didn't report the sustained human-to-human transmission for a month until the illness was in every province inside of China. And Pompeo went on to say that Beijing censored those who tried to warn the world and destroyed existing samples of the virus to stop the testing. So the Chinese Communist Party still has not shared the virus samples with the rest of the world that they have inside of China, making it extremely difficult for us to test the disease and its evolution. The U.S. top diplomat expressed ire for the World Health Organization, saying that the United Nations agency, that's right, the WHO, is a part of the UN, and it is funded by Bill Gates, big time. And now the Chinese communists fund it. Says the WHO and the United Nations agency regulatory arm clearly failed during the pandemic. The U.S., after the 2003 SARS outbreak, led a reform of the WHO rules on how countries are supposed to report health threats. But they don't matter. They didn't do it anyway. Because who is in bed with who? I'm the one that keeps asking that question. Who is in bed with who? Guys, it's getting ugly. It's getting serious. It's getting just outright nasty. One second, I'm texting with L.A. Marzulli. Okay. I'll talk to L.A. in just a second. And he's going to be with us in just a moment. Guys, this is serious stuff that the Secretary of State is bringing up. Now we have another, that's right, L.A. Marzulli is going to join us in just a minute. With some breaking news. L.A. Marzulli has discovered the American Stonehenge. He has discovered the American Stonehenge, and now he can put together what's incredible. He'll tell you about the Canaanite connection, and this is going to be a huge information here today. So just hang on. We'll have him here in just a second, okay? Trump only wants to look strong, somebody said. After Iran, 11 little gunboats kept buzzing and dangerously threatening the U.S. Navy ships. Donald Trump yesterday put out a tweet in which he said, you know what? If they do this again, shoot and destroy them. Don't even have to ask me. I'm just putting it out right now. Yesterday morning at 8:08 a.m., Trump ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot down and destroy Iranian vessels if they harass American warships again in the Persian Gulf. A week ago, a dozen Iranian gunboats intercepted a group of U.S. ships in the area, with the incident leading to an exchange of accusations from each side. The U.S. Navy said the actions of the Iranians were dangerous and provocative, while Iran blasted the Americans for adventurism and violation of navigation rules. So we have a situation here where Trump is taking on the Iranians. Some people are saying Trump is only doing that to create a danger of oil to help get the prices back up. Guys, it wasn't Trump that was buzzing the Navy ships. Trump didn't pick up the phone and call the Iranians and said, cause a problem. Come on. This shows you the just worthless reporting that goes on anymore, that journalism has literally just about died, okay? Okay, LA, I see what you're saying here, and I'll be right to you in just a second. This is unbelievable. There are currently 45 ongoing eruptions with eruptive activity from 52 volcanoes at some point so far this year. This is very, very, very strange. How in the world we got that many volcanoes going? Nobody knows. We're going to keep a close eye on all of this. But 45 ongoing volcano eruptions right now. As of the 17th of April, there were 45 volcanoes erupting simultaneously. And so far this year, 52 different volcanoes have erupted in the globe. This is the highest amount of volcanoes in the history of the world. So when we're talking about Megaquake 2020 and all of these signs of the earthquakes and the volcanism and the asteroids and the meteorites and the seas rising and the pole shifts, and Mike Run the World is going to be sharing that during our webinar. I mean, you got to understand, guys, it's getting crazy out there. We are living in the last days. Give your life to Jesus Christ. When we come back, L.A. Marzulli is going to join us with the discovery of the American Stonehenge. Are you serious? Man Wrigley lived in that White House down the street where I grew up. Mama used to send me over with things. We struck a friendship up. I spent a lot of long summers out on his old porch swing. Says he was in the war and in the Navy. Lost his wife, lost his baby. Broke down and asked him one time, how'd you keep from going crazy? He said, I'll see my wife and son in just a little while. I asked him what he meant. He looked at me and he smiled, said, I raise my hands I bow my head. I'm finding more and more truth in the words written in red. They tell me that there's more to life than just what I can see. Oh, I believe. A few years later, I was off to college, talking to my mom on the phone one night, getting all caught up on all the gossip, the ins and outs of small town life. She said, oh, by the way, son, old man Wrigley died. Later on that night, I laid there thinking back, thought about a couple long lost summers. I didn't know whether to cry or laugh, if there was ever anybody who deserved a ticket to the other side. It would be that sweet old man who looked me in the eyes and raised my hands. I bow my head. I'm finding more and more truth in the words written in red. They tell me that there's more to life than just what I can see. I can't quote the book, the chapter or the verse, but you can't tell me it all ends in a slow ride in a hearse. You know I'm more and more convinced the longer that I live. Yes, it can't be, no it can't be, no it can't be all there is. I raise my hands, I bow my head. I'm finding more and more truth, the words written in red. They tell me that there's more to life than just what I can see. Oh, I believe. 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 I believe.
You know, like you said, we are looking at the beast kingdom.
Yep.
We're looking at.
All right, folks, we're back. We are back, guys. I tell you what, get ready. It's going to be an exciting, a very exciting period of time right now. We're going to spend with my good friend, L.A. Marzulli, who's in the house, and he has just discovered the American Stonehenge, and he can prove it. It's huge because this, when you look at the biblical narrative, but it's just unbelievable. But then again, it's not. And when he links this thing to the Canaanite connection, that was it. I dropped the mic. Drop the mic. It's over. Okay. So here we are. Our good friend L.A. Marzulli from www.lamarzulli.net. L.A., how we doing?
I'm doing really good, Pastor Paul. Thanks so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
All right, LA, man, you're not in California, but you're in Oklahoma. You didn't have no problem with the tornadoes last night, right?
Yeah, I am aware of it. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, man, I mean, yeah, you had some tornadoes up and around Oklahoma there. There was 5 people killed. There was 3, I think, killed in Texas, 2 in Oklahoma, but LA was safe. So LA, it's exciting work you're doing right now. And
Thank you.
tell us about this great discovery, the American Stonehenge.
Well, American Stonehenge is a 4,000-year-old site, or at least those of us who believe that it is what it is. It's a 4,000-year-old site. The naysayers and the skeptics, but we'll get into that in a little bit. It's a 4,000-year-old site, which is in New Hampshire. I've been to the site probably 4 or 5 times now, and there's so much there you can't possibly see it all in one day. Here's the rub. It's got very large megalithic stones, granite. Some of these things 3, 4, 5, 7 tons. Moved, and they're standing stones. So what I mean by that is when you're in the center of that henge, the center of the site, and you look out and you sight a stone, this particular stone, which happens to be the summer solstice standing stone. Now, they didn't know any of this when they bought the property. They had no idea that these stones were even there. But the stones were there. And when you sit in the center of their site and you look out at that stone, the summer solstice sunrise comes right over that stone. So these stones, in some cases, are a couple of 100 yards away from the center. And at one point, this was all overgrown. When the Stone family bought the property decades ago, much of it was overgrown. In fact, what is known as the sacrificial altar, or table, as I prefer to call it, sacrificial table, sacrificial altar, was basically buried up to, it looked like it was on level ground. Well, they went in and started to excavate this thing because they realized there was what looked like some sort of a trench all the way around it. Someone had carved this like a recess to drain what? Lye, soap, water, blood? And sure enough, when they excavated down, they discovered that the slab of stone, which weighs about 5 tons, do the math there, right, was on 4 legs, 4 stacked stones, and it's slightly canted this way. So it's about 10 feet by about 6 feet. So it's certainly not for deer, it's for something else. And we believe this is an ancient site which was built by the Phoenicians 4,000 years ago, which of course completely rewrites history as we know it. I understand that. But here's the deal, Pastor Paul. When we were there, and remember, you go back decades, if it's a hoax, why create an altar like this? Right behind the altar is a hidden chamber that no one even knew was there. So they started excavations. And in other words, this whole thing was covered up. And what they discovered was behind this altar is a hidden chamber with a tube, a rock tube that goes through it. So all these stones are stacked to make this tube. So someone stands in the secret chamber and this amplifies their voice underneath the table. Are you kidding me? We found the same type of echo devices or amplification on the island of Malta in the Mediterranean, specifically in the Hypogeum, which is this underground complex. And there's this tube, this oracle tube, for lack of a better word.
How big is the tube, LA? How big around or diameter?
It's about 6 feet long and about maybe a foot in diameter. About 6 feet long and a foot in diameter.
Directly behind the altar. Directly behind the altar.
Directly behind the altar. So the person doing it, you wouldn't see. They'd be completely hidden from view. Okay. And of course, it was designed that way. So, a soap maker, right, or an apple press, they don't do stuff like this. And that's what the skeptics say. Oh, this was used to make lye, or this was used for a cider press. Nonsense. This is a ritualistic site, highly charged ritualistic site created, in my opinion, by the Nephilim. Now, why do I say that? Because the Phoenicians are the descendants of the Canaanites. And the Canaanites are a broad term for Nephilim tribes. And what they discovered years and years ago, as they were excavating the site in the 60s, there was a collapsed chamber where the roof had gone down like this. So the whole chamber's collapsed. And they're kind of looking for artifacts down this area. They find this large stone, weighs about 30, 40 pounds. And on it, they realize that there's writing, what appears to be writing, but no one can decipher it. It's in an alphabet or these glyphs or these marks or these runes look completely different than anything that they knew at the time. And so it sat in the museum for 11 years. The stone sits in the museum for 11 years, right? No one knows what it is. Enter Dr. Barry Fell, who is a Harvard professor, who's also a linguist. He studies languages, and he studies epigraphs, these etchings, and deciphers them. And he could read and understand and decipher a multiple of different languages. And he walked into the museum and he said, I know what this is. I'm almost positive I can decipher it. So he brings it back and he deciphers this thing. So if it's a hoax, so let me see, the hoax is going to do this and then allow it to sit 11 years in the museum till Dr. Barry Fell just happens to come in, nonsense. The whole thing's just nonsense. And the reason why the skeptics look at this, because it does rewrite history, and it shows that there's something else going on, and they don't want to go there. They don't want to go there. So let me jump forward. So I'm in the museum. I've got this little camera, it's called an Osmo, and I'm following Kelsey Stone, third generation of the Stone family. It was the grandfather, then Kelsey's dad, Dennis, and then Kelsey. So it's the third generation of Stones that have been on the site, working the site, trying to understand the site. So I'm doing B-roll with Kelsey. He's taking me through the museum, which is a really cool adventure. And he tells by a display cabinet, I go, what's in here? And remember, the camera's on him, not me. I go, what's in here? He goes, well, these are some of the artifacts that we found with writing on them. Oh, okay. I have no idea what he's going to say. Well, what's this one say? And he goes, well, this is the dedication stone, and it reads, to Baal of the Canaanites.
What?
And in the film, yeah, in the film America Stonehenge, the Canaanite connection, I do like a little sort of a preamble to what the viewer is going to see. I tell them that this is raw footage. I did not edit it in any way. This is my reaction. The camera is only on Kelsey, but you hear me because I'm holding the camera and my reaction. So Kelsey goes, it's a dedication stone to Baal of the Canaanites. You hear this long pause, and then I go, what did you just say? Because I can't believe what I'm hearing. And he goes, he kind of laughs nervously. He goes, yeah, it's a dedication stone to Baal of the Canaanites.
And it was found,
like,
now wait a minute.
You've got to be kidding.
You're saying that this stone in New Hampshire is a dedication stone to Baal of the Canaanites, and this thing is sitting in New Hampshire. How does that happen? I mean, yeah, my reaction is what? And what did? Are you serious? What did? Okay, how did it get there? Does that mean who's doing this? L.A. What's going on?
The Phoenicians, which we know were master navigators. I mean, they were. They had maps. In fact, some people even posit that Columbus may have had access to ancient Phoenician maps, which is why he knew about the New World. He knew it was there. It wasn't like, I'm going to discover. He knew something was there, I believe. Now, that's conjecture on my part, and I'll freely admit it. But the Phoenicians kept these maps extremely, very, very secretive, and wouldn't show how they were able to navigate, but they navigated. They were over here. There's too many runes, too many inscriptions, which this is Proto-Phoenician writing. It's there. It's on the Baal stone in New Hampshire. This was a Nephilim site 4,000 years ago, roughly. And remember, they came over here for the copper. That's what they were doing. They were over here for the copper in and around the Great Lakes. And so they were exploring this whole area. And the prince of the power of the air knew, that's the dragon, knew exactly where all these areas are. But they came over here and they settled the Americas, thousands of years ago, and they left their remnants of what they were doing and where they were. It's all over America. And so all I can tell you, Pastor Paul, is that this is real. It changes history as we know it. It's right under our noses. And you say, well, why does a Christian need to know about it? Because it shows us what the prince of the power of the air was up to in the far distant past. And guess what? He still rules the planet. And with everything that's going on, one only wonders how much of this COVID-19 stuff has the fingerprints of the fall of one on. So you remember, Jesus warns us to be like the days of Noah. And our mission statement is to expose the deception of the prince of the power of the air and to herald the return of the King, Jesus. And that's exactly what we're doing with this entire series on the trail of the Nephilim. You're looking at episode 4, America, Stonehenge, the Canaanite connection. I'm actually working on part 2 of that, and which will be number 5. Number 6 in the series is actually done. It's on the elongated Baraka skulls, the DNA evidence. It's all done. It's sort of a synopsis of our from 2013 to the present, and there's a lot of new footage where I've interviewed doctors and surgeons and chiropractors and optometrists. And it all goes back to the same thing, Pastor Paul. There's a hidden history. There's a hidden history that the people of the world, it's been obfuscated from them. It's been deliberately tucked away so that the people of the world really don't understand our origins, our ancient origins. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole series.
Folks, L.A. Marzulli is with us, the famous L.A. Marzulli, really the best filmmaker, I think, in the business. The guy who brought us the Nephilim, okay, who literally wrote the first book that really started to captivate the Christian world and actually the world. L.A. was 2 or 3 seasons on Ancient Aliens. He was on the cast of Ancient Aliens for 3 or 4 years. But he was, of course, sharing the biblical narrative, and they kind of wanted to go away from the biblical narrative. So they kind of, moved in a different direction. They wanted to push the Darwinistic theory. Now, let me just say something about this, L.A. In Judges chapter 1, why is this so big deal? Canaanite dedication stone to Baal. Well, remember when the children of Israel were getting ready to cross into the land of Canaan, because the Canaanites were there. Remember, it was Joshua and Caleb who came back and told Moses, said, look, yeah, we could take it. Yeah, there's giants there. We look like grasshoppers. All of them said this. All the spies said that. But Joshua and Caleb said, but we can take them because we got the hand of the Lord. Here's what the Bible said in Judges chapter 1. Now, after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up for us against the Canaanites, first to fight against them? The Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. And Judah said unto Simon, his brother, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites. And I likewise will go with thee unto thy lot. So Simon decides to go. Now when they go, they find out not only did the Lord deliver the Canaanites, but also the Perizzites, and go on and on. The Amorites, the Amalek, all the ites, the termites, the parasites, all the ites. LA has been able to link this all together. Go to his website right now, www.lamarzulli.net. Don't even mess around. Just go right now, www.lamarzulli.net. Here's why. I think you're sheltered in place. You're tired of looking at Netflix. Yeah, there's nothing else on. You don't want to listen to the mainstream fake news media. Get a couple of these. Matter of fact, put the special. LA, you've got a publicly special. Brock, put it on the screen. LA, tell us what this is. What are you doing, LA? This is an incredible special.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can get all 4 DVDs for basically 50% off, $39.95. And the reason why we're doing that is we want to get the word out and make it affordable. We originally had it, you could go to Vimeo and stream it. And as of about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, we were deplatformed on Vimeo. So they took down all of my Vimeos, or all of my videos on Vimeo. We are no longer on Vimeo. So you could at one point, as of last night, stream them. Now you can't. And the reason for this is because I did a PPS report, my daily update since this COVID-19 nonsense has been going on, and I quoted Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talking about the danger of the vaccines, and that Bill Gates actually was responsible for 500, just under 500,000 children in India who became paralyzed by taking his vaccine, his polio vaccine. And they deplatformed me, completely deplatformed me. So there's a war that's going on within the media. It makes you wonder who decided to do that. Obviously, they have a political worldview. They don't like what I'm saying. And they probably don't like what you're saying either, Pastor Paul. Just like when you were targeted by the deep state, and it was the deep state, and they tried to take you out with the car crash, which didn't work, and you saw the list. My name was on the list. Dizdar's name was on the list, and others. And then Trump got elected, and it all went away. But the deep state is still there, and the new world order is still there. And I got to tell you, folks, I honestly think that this is a precursor to the beast system. That's what it is. And Gates, there's a clip which I was going to show. We actually showed it yesterday on my PPS report, where Gates is flailing his arm and basically stating that the only way we'll ever be safe from the COVID-19 virus and return to normal is if everybody on the planet gets the vaccine. That's the end game here.
It's incredible. It's incredible what's going on. And, so this is why, guys, when we say that we're living in the end times, when we say we're living in the last days, it's on many fronts now. It's not just this or that. When people will ask us, well, if we're in the last days, can you show me in the Bible we're in the last days? It's like, where do you want to start? Like, every prophecy known to man is happening simultaneously. The destruction of Damascus, the rise of the beast kingdom, the uncovering of the Nephilim and the fallen one's technology, the technologies that would make the book of Revelation now work. You know what I'm saying? I remember George Jetson, L.A. Meet George Jetson. Okay, and he's got Rosie is the little robot that goes around cleaning, right? Well, now there are actually robots that will actually go around and clean and mop and sweep. I mean, look, the technologies are catching up with the prophecies in Revelation. And what you're doing is you're connecting the dots from the ancient times to now. From the old school, the old ancient technologies are now matching the biblical prophecy narrative, and you're bringing it out in every area. The deep state is at work. We know this. And they're going to use everything. It doesn't matter what. And you're right. We were on the list. The man showed me the list from the NSA. And you were on there, Russ Dizdar, several others. And after Trump got elected, well, everything went good for a while. But the deep state didn't go away. They are deep. The roots run deep. And it's not just America, LA. It's all over the world. I mean, Merkel's never going to go away, is she? Merkel can't go away. The EU's going to go away before Merkel goes away. It's incredible. But tell us some more about the stars. Do you talk about that connection in this film, LA?
Yeah, we do. There's a direct connectivity between this ancient site in America and all the summer solstices, winter solstice, the equinoxes, both the vernal and the autumnal equinox. So it begs the question, why are they doing this? And here's something else. The entire site is built on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. And that in itself is absolutely mind-blowing. And I was one, having just come from the Octagon Mountain in Ohio, when I visited America's Stonehenge, and I'm watching their presentation in the little side room. They've got a video, and in that film that they make, it's about a little 15-minute film, they talk about that America's Stonehenge is built on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. I immediately got up out of my chair and went to Dennis Stone. Dennis, are you aware that the Octagon Mountain in Ohio, which of course is west of New Hampshire, is also constructed on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle? He says, no, I had no idea. So why is that important? Because in my opinion, it's the same people that's doing it, the same entities that are doing it. In order to understand that the moon is on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle, one has to go out and observe the moon, waxing and waning, for 18 and a half years. And then somehow chart that, map it, and crunch the data. Because when you started doing, let's say you and I jump in right now. So tonight we go out, we look at the moon, we take a couple of sticks, we line the sticks up, make some notches. It was here on this day, and we go over here, and this is where it went away. So we've got a couple of sticks in the ground. Then next time we go out, we make some new notches. Well, how can we crunch the data? And then what happens after 30 days when you get a 5-day rainstorm where you can't see the moon at all? What do? Start over again? And then how would you know what year you've done? When you jump in, if we jumped in right now, am I in year 4, in year 12, in year 17, in year 2? You have no idea where you are. So you've got to look at the moon, waxing and waning, somehow chart it every single night for 18 and a half years, understand what it does, and then crunch the data to know, oh my gosh, this is the beginning again. It's an 18 and a half year lunar cycle. The book of Enoch, which is in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is quoted in the Tanakh, in our Bibles, in the New Testament, specifically in Jude. The Tanakh being the Old Testament, Jude obviously in the New Testament. I want to clarify that. Basically talks about a fallen angel by the name of Sariel who gave knowledge of the lunar procession to mankind. Just gave all that knowledge. So here we are in America 4,000 years ago. You'd be hard-pressed to even know in Europe that we had an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. Yet the whole site is based on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. Not only there, but in the Octagon Mount. So here you've got the American Stonehenge in New Hampshire, go west, young man, to Ohio, the Great Circle Mount, the Octagon Mount, built on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. But there's also connectivity, and we're going to get into this in the second film, part 2 of American Stonehenge. When you go from the center point of their site out to the summer solstice standing stone, and this is the work of Kelsey Stone. In other words, this information, Pastor Paul, lay absolutely hidden away, never to be known. No one knew about it except the builders and those who were initiated. This is how unbelievable this is, and we show it in the second film. When you go and you take the center of their henge and you go out to the summer solstice standing stone, and you go on Google Earth and you plot that line, and you extend that line, and you extend that line, and you go over the Atlantic Ocean. And when Kelsey Stone was doing this, he realized he was in southern England. So he said, well, I wonder where this winds up. I just be very interesting to see where it goes. And so he starts noodling around, and that line intersects the center trilithon at Stonehenge, England. The trilithon is 2 uprights and a horizontal bar like this. 2 uprights and a horizontal bar. That line from American Stonehenge, thousands of miles away, intersects, right there, intersects the center trilithon at Stonehenge, England.
What?
Which you can't do. You can't do that in antiquity. You can't do it. It's impossible.
That's insane. You have to have, yeah, you can. And these Stonehenges were built. Stonehenge. These were built thousands of years ago, folks. How do you line it up perfectly, the one in New Hampshire in America to the one in England? How do you get it exactly dead on? I mean, how in the world do you do that with sticks and stones and guys crawling around, in deerskin? I mean, do we understand? So when you go to the book of Enoch, which is, I understand, not in our canon, it probably should be. I'm pretty sure it should be when you read it. Then, well, matter of fact, Jude quotes Enoch in the book of Jude. Okay, so he thinks it should be there as well. But anyway, and he was a brother of Christ. But here's the deal. How do you line this up unless in the book of Enoch it was downloaded? It's downloaded from the fallen ones. So guess what? That tree of knowledge of good and evil that they ate the fruit back in the day in the garden, that opened a portal, that opened a doorway to technological information being downloaded to humanity from the man who's the prince of power of the air. And that's Lucifer himself and his dragon and all of his fallen ones. So LA, what you've done is just prove again. And did anybody else know this? Are you the guy that discovered this connection?
No, this is Kelsey Stone was the one who went on Google Earth and did that. And he let me use it in my book, On Betrayal of a Nephilim. And of course, we discuss it in the film, not the first film, not this film. It comes in part two. But what Kelsey didn't know is when he extended the line, he winds up in Beirut. So he knew that, and he knew the Phoenician connection. Beirut was the capital, port city of the Phoenicians.
Right.
So he knew that. So they figured it was, because they knew about Dr. Barry Fell and, Tubal, the Canaanites. What he didn't understand, and this is what I told him, was the Phoenicians were an offshoot of the Canaanites. And the Canaanites were a Nephilim tribe, a broad term from a Nephilim tribe. We are looking at the fingerprints of the supernatural all over the city. It is deliberate. And in part two of the series, which hopefully will come out maybe by the end of June, we'll see what happens. When we get to that, what we see is more connectivity in other sites. And then from there, once we found that out, we realized that, oh my gosh, there's connections in many of these ancient sites to other ancient sites all over the globe. This is the work of the fallen angels. This is not some kind of coincidence. It's not the Anunnaki that we hear about from ancient aliens crew. This is the fallen angels. And the reason why Christians need to understand it, because all these sites were here. And it'll be like the days of Noah. And we're right back, Jesus said it, when I return, it'll be like the days of Noah. When we are rapidly in that window of time where we're seeing the rise of the Nephilim. I believe they're here. They've never left. But, look at my work, my Kandahar Giant that we did, which by the way put us on the map with the deep state. So all this is all too real, Pastor Paul. It's, in some ways, it's extremely alarming, but it's all real.
Folks, L.A. Marzulli is with us. Go to his website right now, open a tab, okay? I got to be careful how I say that because some people actually are sitting there somewhere drinking and they just open another tab. So I just open a tab on your computer, if you would, and go to www.lamarzulli.net. That's www.lamarzulli.net and get his DVDs right now. Get this American Stonehenge, the Canaanite Connection. Get that right now. Matter of fact, get the special. He's got that publicly special where you get 4 of his unbelievable films, and nobody does films better than him. And I've said this many times. It is they're so well done. They're better than anybody else, and they're excellent information. And folks, guess what? We're going to have a webinar coming up July 17th and 18th. The title of it, and I got more breaking news on it. The title of it is Aliens, AI, and the Antichrist. The keynote speaker who will be delivering 2 presentations in that is L.A. Marzulli. Brock, tell people how they can get signed up now. Aliens, AI technology, and the Antichrist. These 3 categories need to be explained. We're having a powerful webinar at my website, July 17th and 18th. Get your ticket now. It's time to answer some of the unexplained questions that have boggled the minds and the deception. Hollywood has confused so many, but we will answer them all. Get prepared in these last days. So, okay, guys, now it's not at my website yet. So what you do is you go, the moderators have got the link. Moderators, there's 1,800 people right now on the YouTube, in our main YouTube channel, and there's like 300 over at the backup channel. Could you throw the link in there for everybody there, and also throw it in the one on live stream for the folks watching on a new live stream? Throw it into Periscope. Throw it into every one of these social network areas we're open. Get that link in there right now, folks. Get your ticket now, okay? L.A. Marzulli is going to speak in this twice. For us to get him twice is like, you know how hard that is? I mean, it's just like brutal. So it's LA, can you give us a teaser on what you might do in this conference?
Which one, yours or
Yeah.
Steve Crowd? I just want to give a shout out to Steve's. Because Steve's will be streaming May 15th to the 17th.
Yes.
And I'm talking about ancient cataclysms and lost civilizations. That's my title. I sent it up to Steve, so it's I'll be on that live streaming event with Gen 6, and that's May 15th and the 17th. So please check that out. But yeah, I mean, I'll be talking about, and look, folks, I've been in this whole UFO thing for decades, really going on 40 years. It actually goes back to when I saw them when I was 12 years old, a Boy Scout, and that changed my life forever. And that's why I'm on the trail. But I can't wait to give my presentation about this whole Antichrist thing and how it may actually connect back to the whole UFO phenomenon. So I'll be talking about that at your conference, Pastor Paul. I'm honored to be there, and thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so L.A. Marzulli, keynote speaker, will be speaking in 2 presentations during July 17th and 18th. You don't want to miss that. And I just got confirmation. Russ Dizdar is already confirmed. Russ Dizdar is going to be a speaker in that conference, as well as Clyde Lewis. Clyde Lewis confirmed 2 nights ago, the Ground Zero guy out of Eugene, Oregon. Also, Rex Bear, Nano is going to give us his 5G AI technology, biometric stuff. So Rex Bear will be speaking. And we just locked down Steve Quayle last night. Actually, Steve Quayle said, please, I want to be in that. And so we're so thankful to him. He's going to be speaking in that conference. So it's July 17th and 18th. And I think there's somebody else, and I just can't remember, so please forgive me. I'll try to put a bow on that at the end, I think. But it should be powerful. Matter of fact, Brock, tell them again. Everybody, if you guys don't mind, please, right now, put a link in the chat room for everyone to sign up and get their ticket right now for Aliens, AI, and the Antichrist. Aliens, AI technology, and the Antichrist. These 3 categories need to be explained. We're having a powerful webinar at my website, July 17th and 18th. Get your ticket now. It's time to answer some of the unexplained questions that have boggled the minds and the deception. Hollywood has confused so many, but we will answer them all. Get prepared in these last days. All right, guys. All right. So the moderator's putting the link in there. I'm sorry it's not on my website yet. Our website guy got sick. Doesn't have coronavirus. He's sick, and so we're scrambling to get that caught up. We'll get it. Don't worry. But you can go right now to Eventbrite. That's what that link's for, and you can go ahead and get your ticket now. L.A. Marzulli is with us. He's got great material. Go to his website at www.lamarzulli.net, and he's running this Paul Begley special today, which I think it's for you folks. It's today for you. 4 of his films for $39. That's insane, L.A. Can you tell us about these 4? Brock, put them up there.
Yeah, well, the first one is Mysterious Mound Builders. And I owe that to my friend Fritz Zimmerman, because Fritz had already written a book, Fallen Angels in the Ohio Valley, the Nephilim Chronicles. And I about fell over when I first saw it. And I remember walking into the Great Circle Mound for the first time. I was at a conference in Newark, Ohio. And my friend Russ Dizdar, our friend Russ Dizdar, said, L.A., do you know where you're going? I said, yeah, I'm going to Newark, Ohio. And he just started laughing. He said, Google this book. Fallen Angels in the Ohio Valley of the Nephilim Chronicles. And there it was, and I Googled it. It was by Fritz Zimmerman, and I was off to the races. So when the conference got finished early on Sunday, I had my driver take me to the North Circle Mound. It was my first time there, and I remember walking up the path and finally getting to the entrance of the Great Circle Mound, and I just stood there. I was all alone. There was nobody else there. About 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The place was deserted. And I remember standing there looking at it, and every single pore, every neuron was firing. And I just sat there and kind of hyperventilated and just looked and didn't move a muscle. I was frozen, just frozen. And looked at this and went, oh my gosh. And I realized that Fritz was right. It was Fallen Angels in the Ohio Valley. This was the handiwork of the Nephilim. And that started me on the series. And Fritz has been in, I think, all 4 of the films. And we owe that to Fritz, because Fritz and I used him as our guide and sort of our go-to person. But I've also, boned up on my own, obviously, and done a lot of research. But Fritz and I went to all of these sites. We filmed there. And then from there, we went over to Europe for 28 days. And we filmed there. We have not done too much with that footage yet. That's still further down the pike as far as the in the series. But the first core series, the Mysterious Mound Builders, gets into the fact that we are told that cat's not happy, that we are told that Native Americans built these mounds. And yet we have Chief Joseph Riverwind, who was a Tiano Peace Chief, come on the record and state that, no, Native Americans didn't build them. In fact, Native Americans state just the opposite. These mounds and edifices were here when we got here. That's what they say. And we show the Great Serpent Mound, which is in Ohio. And it's this undulating serpent over the landscape. And it's huge. And you can only see it, Pastor Paul, when you're high in the air. 700 or 800 feet. Well, we flew a drone 700-800 feet up in the air, and you can see the serpent now, and it undulates. And the serpent is in the act, the mouth is wide open. And in my opinion, the serpent is in the act of swallowing an egg. So why does that matter? Folks, we're surrounded by it. Wake up. We need to wake up. We all need to wake up. It's Genesis 3:15. The seed, the offspring of the serpent, will be at enmity at war with the seed, the offspring of the woman. He, Messiah, will crush the serpent's head. The serpent will bruise the Messiah's heel. Sets up the rest of the biblical narrative. Here in Ohio, for crying out loud, we've got this undulating serpent, the largest earth serpent on the planet. The largest serpent, what's the word, iconography on the planet. There it is. The mouth is wide open. It's in the act of swallowing an egg. Give me a break. That's Genesis 3:15, screaming. Mathematical Mysteries of the Mound Builders, which is the second film. We show that there's advanced geometry, advanced surveying technique, knowledge of trigonometry. We have several people come on the record and just look right at the camera and say, there's no way that this just happened by chance. There's no way. We flew a drone over the Octagon now, which encompasses 50 acres of land. It's not so small little octagon. It's huge. 50 acres of land. And, you know, how do you even know what you're building, for crying out loud? How do you check your work unless you're in the air? Who is the prince of the power of the air? Secrets of Supernatural Voices from the Other Side, the third one in the film. And that blew us away. Because what we uncover, and Russ said this, Russ said, if these are Nephilim sites, then they are charged, and we should see evidence of supernatural activity. And that's what the film shows. Evidence of supernatural activity in these mounds. And I mean, I could go on, but it's just mind-boggling. I'll give you one little teaser on that film. There's a pastor that pastor a Lutheran church there. And when he's pastoring, his parishioners would call up. There was this one house that was built on a smaller mound. And the people of the house would go in, and they have a crawl space down in the basement. They'd open the door, and sometimes it would be a crawl space. Other times they'd open the door, there would be a bottomless pit.
What?
How's that possible? A bottomless pit? I mean, right? We are looking at the fingerprints of the supernatural. These sites are highly charged. You don't go into them unless you're prayed up. They are here in the Americas. They are all over Europe. They are all over the Middle East. And that's what our film is about, to expose the deception of the prince of the power of the air and the herald of the return of the King, Jesus. And I honestly think that we're in the period of time, Pastor Paul, if I can do some heralding here, he's got to come back soon. Because we're being pushed, we're being rounded up, we're being pushed almost inevitably towards the beast system. And you know, how many of us are even aware of it? How many people on the planet even know what the beast system is? We talk about it because we've been traveling in it for years, but it's here. And the idea that Vimeo struck down all of our, they just completely negated my account. We have no longer a Vimeo account. They took down everything that we ever put up on Vimeo. So you can't stream it anymore. You can only at least for today. Maybe in the next 48, 72 hours we'll have another platform. I don't know. But right now we've been deplatformed. The only way you can get this stuff is to go to our website. That's lamarzulli.net. And frankly, I thank you for your patronage, folks. We appreciate it.
Yeah, folks, go to his website, www.lamarzulli.net. You know, because like he said, he had it all set up beautifully over there at Vimeo, where if you wanted to just go there, you could have purchased it and downloaded it instantly. Instead, now you'll have to order the DVD and he'll ship it to you. But why in the world would they just take down his platform, But then again, we see this time and time again, and it's happening. There's a squeeze going on. There's a war going on, and there's a seed war going on. Let me just say this as well, LA. For whatever reason, the governor of Michigan decided it's illegal to buy seed. The people are trying to buy their seed to plant a garden, and they are not allowed to buy the seed. We found out the same thing is going on in Virginia. Also, there's another state. This Gretchen Whitmer has decided that it's illegal. It is illegal to buy seed to plant a garden. Now, if people are sheltered in place and they're having a hard enough time getting food, why on God's green earth would you say that it's illegal? She said for coronavirus reasons. It doesn't make sense. They're trying to control the food pattern. And I just announced today, 30 miles from where I'm sitting right here in Logansport, Indiana, Tyson Food Plant that packages millions of chickens into the box for you already, 146 people working at the plant have coronavirus. They were all tested positive. 146 people there. They've shut the plant down, and other meat processing plants are shutting down across the country for different reasons. It's going to be very difficult, folks, to find meat, but that's part of the agenda. Remember, I've been telling you, they want us to eat grub worms and drink cricket juice. And I was at a Mensa conference 4 years ago in Louisville, Kentucky, where they said that. So we're in the Green New Deal, whether you like it or not, and everybody can just say due to coronavirus. They won't even pick up the trash out here in Indiana. They're limiting us to how much trash could be fit in the can. They put a big sign out on the road here and said, due to the coronavirus, don't put more than your can out. Why? What's that got to do with the coronavirus? LA!
Pastor Paul, I spoke to someone in Ecuador. I interviewed him today via Skype. And he's a pastor down there. And one of the questions I asked him, I said, are you allowed to have guns, buy guns? He goes, oh, no, you have to have a special permit and live way out in the country to justify owning a gun. So I'm not endorsing violence or insurrection or rebellion or anything. I'm not endorsing that or saying that, take up arms, storm the Bastille. I'm not saying that. I'll make that real clear. But you know what, folks? I'm just really glad that we have our Second Amendment. That's all I can tell you. I am overjoyed that we have our Second Amendment. And just remember that the Japanese did not invade the mainland after the devastation that they poured out at Pearl Harbor, because they knew that every American pretty much had guns, and they knew that they could never take the mainland. So when you get governors like Whitlis and the other knucklehead Northam in Virginia, Mr. Blackface Ku Klux Klan guy, who tells everybody to hunker down, meanwhile he goes to his beach house, right? Do as I say, not as I do. We did cover this at PPS Report. This is all right out of Saul Alinsky, all of it. And I just want to read the rules for radicals. Healthcare. Control healthcare or you control the people. Poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control, will not fight back if you're providing everything for them to live. Debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you're able to increase taxes, and this will produce more poverty. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you're able to create a police state. Welfare. Take control of every aspect of their lives. Food, housing, and income. This is all from Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky. This is right out of the Communist Playbook. Education. Take control of what people read and listen to. Take control of what children learn in school. Religion. Remove the belief in God from the government and schools. Class warfare. This is Obama. Divide the people and the wealthy and the poor. This is Ocasio-Cortez. This will cause more discontent. It will be easier to tax the wealthy with the support of the poor. Does any of this sound like what is happening in the United States? Absolutely. And that's what happened in communist Russia. And this is why yahoos like AOC and others are incredibly dangerous to our liberty. The Democrats are always saying, it's a threat to our democracy. The real threat to our democracy, in my opinion, are people like Hillary Clinton, are people like Bernie Sanders, my gosh, people like AOC and others, the squad. Those people like Adam Schiff, little pencil neck, just trying to drum up something on Trump and withholding evidence. I got to tell you, folks, there's allegedly indictments coming down. And I just pray to God that these indictments really happen. It's Thursday. They were supposed to happen this week, and they didn't. So what can I tell you?
L.A. Marzulli, folks, www.lamarzulli.net. That's www.lamarzulli.net. Go to his website. Got great material there. Some of the best you'll ever see. And he is our keynote speaker, along with a all-star lineup for our conference coming up in July 17th and 18th. Wait till LA can go uncensored, unbridled, unafraid. Brock, tell people, moderators, please put the link in there right now for people to get their ticket right now for this conference. July 17th, 18th. It's a webinar. AI technology and the Antichrist. These three categories need to be explained. We're having a powerful webinar at my website, July 17th and 18th. Get your ticket now. It's time to answer some of the unexplained questions that have boggled the minds and the deception. Hollywood has confused so many, but we will answer them all. Get prepared in these last days. Folks, so get your ticket now. Get signed up right now, because then you'll be first in line, and we'll start sending those links out to that. You'll be ready to roll, okay? That's going to be a powerful conference, July 17th and 18th. It's a webinar, Aliens, AI, and the Antichrist. And it's going to be an all-star lineup for sure. L.A. Marzulli. Go to his website, www.lamarzulli.net. That's www.lamarzulli.net. Do it now. Don't even hesitate. Do it now while you still can. Okay? While you can, folks. Seriously. We're in the end times. L.A., I appreciate you coming and being with us. This has been a thought-provoking, unbelievable. Once again, you're just constantly filled with great wisdom and knowledge that we need in these end times. And so tell Peggy I said hi, and I thank you guys so much for the work you do, L.A., the work you do.
Brock and the whole crew. Thanks, Pastor Paul.
God bless, L.A. I'll talk at you later. Be good.
Take care.
Yep. L.A. Marzulli, folks, the man with the mission. One of the hardest working guys out there, okay? He doesn't blow smoke. He does the job. All right. He really does. And so, good friend. He's a very good friend, L.A. Marzulli. It's sad that his Vimeo account was taken down 90 minutes before he came on the air to be with us. So, of course, he was obviously going to tell you can buy his DVDs at his website, or you could go to his Vimeo account where you could just download it. Well, now you can't. For some reason, it's down. And let's hope he gets it back up, because he had all that work put into that and all the stuff set up so people could get access to his downstreams. But maybe there's a glitch, or maybe there's something else behind it. We'll just have to wait and see. Folks, let me just say this. We're living in the last days. I don't think I have to really prove that anymore. I thought, but then I found out, I got a statistic on how many churches are actually studying the end times. It's less than 10%. 90% of the churches across America still do not read the book of Revelation. Jesus said that blessed are ye who read and hear the words of this prophecy. For the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. And he constantly tells you how blessed you'll be if you read this prophecy of the book of Revelation, because you have to understand what's going on. How can you get where you're going without a roadmap or an understanding where the detours are and the pitfalls? And God wants you to know that. And it's so important. But the most important, listen to what I'm telling you. This world is changing rapidly. The beast kingdom is rising. The resistors of the body of Christ is praying. Well, we can't change prophecy. I can't stop prophecy. I must push on. I got to work while it's day. I got to keep telling people Jesus is coming. I don't know the day. I don't know the hour, but I can see the day approaching. And I'm telling you right now, he's coming soon. It's not a question of if he's coming. It's simply a question of when he's coming. And now it's how soon is he coming. I was thinking about the great Jack Van Impe. And he called me twice, both times after watching a live broadcast just like this. Never met the man personally in my life, just the 2 phone calls from the great Dr. Jack Van Impe. The second call came to me 60 days before he died, in which he told me, Paul, you're a pioneer. You're out front on the online, preaching the end times. He said, you're doing what I did when I started the end time message on television 47 years ago. He said, but I'm telling you, I hope I live to see the building of the 3rd temple and the coming of Jesus Christ, but I probably won't make it. But he said, you will. So get busy. Keep telling them that Jesus is coming and that he's coming soon, maybe even sooner than any of us can realize. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready if he should come, or would you be left behind? If he comes today, are you going, or will you be left behind? Brock, get a song. We're living in the end times right now, folks. Make that decision right now. I'll write your name down. I'll write your name down.
One day shy of 8 years old, my grandma
Just type,
passed
I want to
away.
be saved.
I was a broken-hearted little boy, blowing out that birthday cake. How I cried when the sky let go with the cold and lonesome rain. Mama smiled, said, don't be sad, child. Grandma's watching you today.
This is your moment. Do it now.
Holes in the floor of heaven, and her tears are pouring down. That's how you know she's a-watching, wishing she could be here now. And sometimes if you're lonely, just remember she can see.
Daniel wants to be saved. Tracy's rededicating.
She's watching over you and me.
Danielle also wants to be saved. The Sika family wants to be saved.
Seasons go, nothing stays the same.
Light of Heaven wants to be saved.
Fell in love.
Praise God.
A girl who took my name. Year by year, we made a life.
Austin
in this
and Sarah and Amanda
town.
all want to be saved. Praise God.
We grow together.
What about you?
Lord,
What about you?
sure do
And you?
miss her now. But there's holes in the floor of heaven, and her tears are pouring down. That's how I know she's a-watching, wishing she could be here now.
Friendly Max wants to be saved.
Sometimes when I'm
Thank you, Jesus.
lonely, I remember she can see. There's holes in the floor of heaven, and she's watching over you and me.
Delfino Perez wants to be saved. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, my little girl is 23. I walked her down the aisle. It's a shame her mom can't be here now. See her lovely smile.
Will you be saved?
I catch her eye.
Or will you be left
as the
behind?
rain starts coming down. She takes my hand, says, Daddy, don't be sad. I know Mama's watching now.
Jose Alfonso wants to be saved.
There's holes in the floor of heaven, and her tears are pouring down. That's how I know she's a-watching, wishing she could be here now.
Folks, 10 people want to be saved. I feel like, Brock, I want you to play a song that we recorded a long time ago, but I feel like God, I really speak to some people's hearts. And it's entitled, If You're Reading This. I think it might be on my first music CD.
If you're reading this, my mama's sitting there. Looks like I got a one-way ticket over here. Sure wish I could give you one more kiss. War was just a game we played when we were kids. I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots, I'm up here with God, we're both watching over you. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. And know my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home. If you're reading this, halfway around the world, I won't be there to see the birth of our little girl. I hope she looks like you, I hope she fights like me, stands up for the innocent and the weak. I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots. Tell Dad I don't regret that I followed in his shoes.
Karen, Tom, and Patricia.
Lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. And know my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home.
How about you? Are you ready to go home to be with Jesus?
If you're reading this, there's gonna come a day you'll move on, find someone else, and that's okay. Just remember this, I'm in a better place. Soldiers live in peace and angels sing Amazing Grace. Lay me down
Brian wants to be saved.
in that open field out on the edge of town. And know my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, if you're reading this, I'm already home.
Recorded that song on my first CD, I think it was, Paul Begley Country. Let me just say, that's a great song, and I think it was written by Tim McGraw, actually, and I know he recorded it, but it's a great song. Let me just say right now, there's 14 people that want to be saved. I want to pray with every one of you because you're making the greatest decision of your life. Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to be saved. I want to go where my mama always prayed that I would go. I want to get things right with God. I'm going to ask Jesus to forgive me. to cleanse my soul, to wash away the sin in my heart, all the anger, all the things that aren't right. I repent of my sins and I confess my sins to God. And I truly don't doubt in my heart at all, but I believe truly that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, the Savior of the world, the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Savior of the world, the Redeemer. And so I'm repenting and I'm accepting Christ right here, right now, by faith in God's grace, in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Ghost. In Jesus' name, I am saved, I'm saved, I'm saved. I'm healed, I'm delivered, I'm set free, I'm born again, I'm saved in Jesus, saved in Jesus, saved in Jesus' precious name. Somebody give the Lord some praise. Give the Lord some praise right here, right now. Are you serious? Is Emily out there?
When I first found this hole in this clay, all my night was turned to day. When my friends don't understand,
is Lexi here?
Oh, while I'm singing and clap my hands, I clap my hands and clap my hands. Oh, everybody ought to clap your hands. Well, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Well, clap your hands, clap your hands. Look the devil in the eye and clap your hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Oh, everybody ought to clap your hands. When the enemy comes like a flood,
Yeah!
you tell him I'm
Covered by the blood.
You let him know you're taking a stand.
Come on, Big K, sing it.
I'm not gonna worry, gonna clap my hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Oh, everybody ought to clap your hands.
Here we go. Here we go. Kevin Copley. Are you serious?
Satan is defeated foe. In the name of Jesus, that devil's gotta go. You let him know you're holding God's hand. Look the devil in the eye and clap your hands. I clap my hands, I clap my hands. Everybody ought to clap your hands.
Are you serious? Somebody praise the Lord, oh Lord. Kevin Copley, Big K, I call him, singing Clap Your Hands. 14 people have accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior today. This is the day the Lord has made. He said, let's rejoice and be glad therein. Now, do not forget, I'm going to be live at 4 o'clock today with a breaking news report on the economy that I think you got to be listening to. So, and we're right in the middle, they're about ready to pass another stimulus bill that might even pass by the time I go live at 4. But I've got some breaking news on the economy. Guys, and don't forget tonight, Mike from around the world will be our guest tonight at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Guys, if you want a Bible, I'll send it to you for free. Go to this email address, misszd01@hotmail.com. That's misszd01@hotmail.com. If you need a Bible, or if you need a prayer cloth because you're sick and you want an anointed prayer cloth. I'll send it to you for free. The Bible's for free. The prayer cloth is free. If somebody's very, very ill, and we got some people just now coming down with coronavirus and a bunch of family members sick, and there's others out there. Look, we got people very ill with coronavirus in hospitals. We will send people with cancer, brain tumors, heart attacks. We got to get them a blanket for free, okay? And chemo caps for people going through chemotherapy. I need help to do that. If you'd like to give today, please do it now. Just go to my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. And give what the Lord lays on your heart. Feel free and do it. Remember, you're given to the Lord. And Jesus said, give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. If you want to help give on the phone, you can do it. Simply type the word give to the number on the screen, 765-327-4200. That's 765-327-4200. Text the word give and give very easily. And that's a great way to do it. Or you can write me at Paul Begley Prophecy. That's Paul Begley Prophecy, 1048-B. That's 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway West. That's Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana. That's West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. Or pick up the phone and call right now. Katz is waiting for your call right now. Pick up the phone and call her at 765-414-2230. 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. And if the line is busy, wait 5 minutes and call again. Oh my, the labels just came in, Brock, for the new coffee. Go get your Guatemalan coffee. We've got it. We've also got all of it. We got all our coffee. Just go to my website and find it. But we just got the labels in, Brock. They just came in, and I've already got the Heavenly Hazelnut coffee here and the French Vanilla Kiss coffee here. So tonight we will be labeling the coffee, getting it all ready to go, and then we got to get it on the website, which is becoming an issue, and we're going to try to get it up on the website by tomorrow so that you folks can order the coffee and so that you can, all the things that you need. So, wow. And I can't let Drake be mad at me. Yeah, you're right. It's the stress ball. Here's what I like to do. I'm stressing out. All right, get your Drake report, the Drake report. Are you serious? Are you serious? There was a sister that, a lady called last night on the phone. She's 81 years old. Her and her husband, they were ordering a bunch of DVDs and stuff. She said, oh yeah, we want one of those Drake report stress balls. And I said, are you serious? She goes, yeah, we want one of those. We like that kid. So, they're encouraging him to keep doing the good things, helping us. And by the way, he's really learning and he's understanding. And he's a good boy, got saved, baptized. He's focused on doing the right things for God. So encourage him in the Lord, my grandson. All right. Well, Brock did a great job again. Once again, Brock Begley, the greatest producer in the internet. And we want to thank L.A. Marzulli for being our guest today and everybody else. Don't forget, I'll be back at 4 o'clock with Bob Kudla with some breaking news on the economy and the stimulus situation. And then I'll be back tonight again at 9:45 p.m. with Mike from around the world. Megaquake 2020 is coming. I'll see you guys tonight. Folks, let me tell you something. I have a book I really recommend you should get. You go to my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. I have a book entitled The Zombie Apocalypse. Now, it has to do with 35 actual accounts of demonic possession and manifestations that is very troubling, but will help you understand how demon spirits actually work in these last days. I highly recommend you get it also for your teens and college students to help explain to them the pitfalls to not fall into these sorcery or witchcraft seances, Ouija boards, or some video games that could alter the mind and the soul of your child. Again, this book, it's only at my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. There you'll find it on the products page. It'll be a blessing to you, insightful, and you'll bless the ministry. A brand new DVD, Zombie Apocalypse 2. I sat down with L.A. Marzulli and got a first-hand account from Pastor Casper McLeod. This DVD deals with the demonic spirits manifesting in the world today. The zombie craze has certainly caught the eye of Hollywood and movies and TV series. But do you really know what it is? Get the DVD. It's at my website right now.
Available from Paul Begley, his CD, Wayfaring Stranger.
I'm just a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world below.
Wayfaring Stranger includes the title cut plus 11 other songs. Order yours by visiting paulbegleyprophecy.com today.
Due to coronavirus concerns, MegaQuake 2020 cannot be held live in Indianapolis, but you won't miss it. Everyone that's bought a ticket will be able to see it on demand May 1st and 2nd. And I'm going to send you a free gift as well. And if you want a ticket, go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. We'll talk about Planet X, earthquakes, volcanoes, Cascadia subduction zone, New Madrid, all of it. Go to my website now. The zombie awakening. Even Jesus Christ realized there would be a resurrection of the saints, but what about the resurrection of the damned? Hollywood has done a lot of damage deceiving the world. But according to the Bible, from Daniel's prophecies to Jesus Christ, there will be a resurrection of the damned. The zombie awakening. Get this DVD series today. Aliens, AI technology, and the Antichrist. These three categories need to be explained. We're having a powerful webinar at my website, July 17th and 18th. Get your ticket now. It's time to answer some of the unexplained questions that have boggled the minds and the deception. Hollywood has confused so many, but we will answer them all. Get prepared in these last days. Released from Cincinnati, a 4-part DVD set on the end times. Planet X, Nibiru, The Seas Rising, The Pole Shift, Clyde Lewis, John Moore, Stephen Ben-Danoon, and myself, bringing forth dynamic information relevant to the last day. You can get this 4-part DVD set at my website or individually at my Patreon channel. The heavens are shaking. This is a must-see. Get it now. I want to thank all my partners for standing with me, for helping us in the mission of leading people to Jesus Christ, for winning souls into the kingdom. Our live broadcast online, we're seeing 25, 30 souls every day accepting Christ as their Savior. And right here on this television broadcast, so many have come to Jesus Christ. We couldn't do it without you, but we can do all things with Christ. So thank you again for being our partners. God bless all of you.